There comes a moment in every life when we realize that the greatest obstacle standing before us has never been another person. It has never been bad luck. It has never been the economy. It has never been our past. The greatest obstacle has always been the untamed mind. It is the restless voice that whispers excuses before dawn. It is the anger that steals our peace over words that should have been forgotten. It is the fear that convinces us to postpone the life we know we are capable of living. Many spend decades trying to change the world around them. Few dare to master the world within them. Yet history quietly reminds us that the strongest individuals were not those who controlled nations, armies, or fortunes. They were those who first learned to govern themselves. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Within these few words lies a complete philosophy of freedom, because the moment we stop demanding that life become easier and instead become stronger ourselves, everything begins to change. Not overnight, not through miracles, but through habits. Small, quiet, deliberate habits repeated every day. Our character is not built during extraordinary moments. It is built in ordinary mornings, when no one is watching, when comfort invites us back to sleep, when distractions promise immediate pleasure, when discipline asks us to choose what is difficult instead of what is easy. Every sunrise presents the same question: who will govern this day? Our impulses, or our principles, our emotions, or our reason? The answer is never found in a single decision. It is found in the habits we repeat. A habit is more than an action. It is a vote cast for the person we are becoming. Every disciplined choice strengthens character. Every careless decision weakens it. Over months, these invisible choices shape our destiny. Today, we will walk together through 15 habits capable of transforming not only the way we think, but the way we live. These habits demand no extraordinary talent, only consistency, only courage, only the willingness to become slightly better than yesterday. The journey begins now. Habit 1. Begin every morning with gratitude, not complaint. Before the world demands your attention, pause. Take one slow breath. Recognize the extraordinary gift you have already received. Another day, another opportunity, another chance to become wiser than yesterday. Most people begin their mornings by reaching for their phones. Immediately, they invite anxiety into their minds. News, message, comparison, expectations. Before they have spoken a single word, the peace of the morning has already been stolen. Choose differently. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive. Gratitude is not denial of hardship. It is recognition that life still offers possibility despite hardship. A grateful mind cannot easily become a resentful mind. Every morning, begin by appreciating what remains instead of mourning what is missing. That simple habit changes the direction of the entire day. Habit 2. Master your first thoughts. The battle for your day begins long before breakfast. It begins with your first thoughts. Most people never question them. They simply believe whatever appears. I'm tired. I can't do this. Tomorrow will be better. I'm not good enough. Thoughts become beliefs. Beliefs become actions. Actions become habits. Habits become destiny. Epictetus warned us that we are disturbed not by events themselves, but by the judgments we attach to them. This means the quality of our life depends greatly upon the quality of our thinking. The disciplined person becomes the guardian of the mind. When a destructive thought appears, they do not immediately accept it. They examine it. Is it true? Is it useful? Does it move me toward virtue or away from it? If not, they release it. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you repeatedly cultivate will eventually grow. Choose carefully what you allow to take root. Habit 3. Do the hardest thing first. Comfort whispers. Discipline comment. Every day presents one task we secretly hope to avoid. The difficult conversation, the demanding workout, the challenging project, the uncomfortable truth. Most people postpone it. The disciplined person approaches it first. Why? Because courage grows through action. Each difficult task completed early becomes evidence that comfort no longer controls you. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Every morning, ask yourself one question. What is the hardest thing I need to do today? Then begin there, not later, now. Because every victory over procrastination is also a victory over fear. The strongest habits are born not from motivation, but from consistent action. Habit 4. Practice voluntary discomfort. One of the greatest dangers in modern life is excessive comfort. Comfort feels harmless. Comfort feels deserved. Comfort feels safe. Yet comfort has a hidden cost. It slowly weakens our capacity to endure difficulty. The mind becomes fragile. The will becomes soft. And when real adversity arrives, we find ourselves unprepared. The ancient philosophers intentionally embraced periods of discomfort, not because suffering was the goal, but because strength was. Cold mornings, simple meals, long walks, physical exertion, periods of solitude. These practices reminded them that happiness does not depend upon luxury. It depends upon character. Ask yourself, can I remain calm when conditions are not ideal? Can I remain grateful when convenience disappears? Can I remain disciplined when motivation fades? The person who occasionally chooses discomfort voluntarily becomes far more resilient when discomfort arrives unexpectedly. Train yourself to need less, and life will gain less power over you. Habit 5. Guard your attention like a sacred resource. We live in an age where countless forces compete for our attention. Notifications, advertisements, endless opinions, infinite distractions. Most people give away their focus without realizing they are giving away their lives. Because attention is life. Whatever receives your attention eventually shapes your character. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. He constantly reminded himself to return to what truly mattered. The disciplined person asks, what deserves my focus today? Not what is loudest, not what is most entertaining, what is most important. Every moment spent consuming meaningless noise is a moment unavailable for growth. Protect your attention, protect your mind, protect your peace, because a distracted life rarely becomes an extraordinary one. The quality of your future depends largely on where you direct your attention today. Habit 6. Speak less than you know. There is tremendous strength in restraint. Many people feel compelled to share every thought, every opinion, every plan, every ambition. But wisdom often grows in silence. Epictetus advised, be mostly silent, or speak only what is necessary. Consider how much conflict could be avoided if people practiced this habit. How many arguments begin because someone felt the need to prove themselves? How many regrets begin with unnecessary words? The disciplined individual understands that silence is not weakness. It is control. It is the ability to choose words rather than be controlled by them. Speak carefully. Speak deliberately. And remember, a wise person does not speak to impress. A wise person speaks to contribute. The less you seek attention through words, the more powerful your words become. Habit 7. Never let emotions make important decisions. Every human being experiences anger, fear, envy, disappointment, sadness. These emotions are natural, but they make terrible leaders. Emotions are temporary visitors. Yet many people allow temporary feelings to make permanent decisions. They end relationships in anger, abandon goals in frustration, make promises in excitement, and later regret the consequences. Seneca wrote, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." Powerful advice. Delay the reaction. Pause. Breathe. Reflect. Allow reason to return before acting. The strongest individuals are not emotionless. They simply refuse to become servants of emotion. Master this habit, and countless future regrets will disappear. Habit 8. Remember that time is running out. Few thoughts possess more power than the awareness of mortality. Most people avoid it. They live as though tomorrow is guaranteed. They postpone dreams, delay growth, ignore opportunities. Assume there will always be more time. There may not be. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself, you could leave life right now, not to create fear, but to create urgency. Because awareness of death teaches us how to live. It strips away trivial concerns. It exposes meaningless distractions. It reminds us that every day matters. Every conversation matters. Every decision matters. Do not waste your life preparing to live. Live now. Act now. Become now. Because the clock never stops moving. And every sunrise is one sunrise fewer than before. Habit 9. Seek progress, not perfection. Perfection is often a disguise for fear. Many people delay action because conditions are not ideal. They wait for certainty, wait for confidence, wait for perfection. And while they wait, life passes. The disciplined person understands something different. Progress creates confidence. Action creates clarity. Movement creates momentum. A small step forward remains infinitely more valuable than a perfect plan never executed. Do not demand perfection from yourself. Demande effort. Demand consistency. Demande courage. The person who improves 1% each day eventually becomes unrecognizable from who they once were. Greatness is not built through giant leaps. It is built through small victories, repeated relentlessly. Habit 10. End each day with self-examination. As night arrives and the world grows quiet, ask yourself, who was I today? Not who did I pretend to be? Who was I? Did I act with integrity? Did I allow anger to control me? Did I use my time wisely? Did I move closer to the person I wish to become? Seneca practiced this ritual every evening. He reviewed his actions honestly, not with self-hatred, but with self-awareness. Because improvement requires observation. The person who never examines themselves remains trapped within the same patterns. The person who reflects grows. Every evening offers an opportunity to learn. Every mistake offers instruction. Every day offers refinement. And through this process, character is slowly forged, one honest reflection at a time. Habit 11. Stop seeking the approval of others. One of the heaviest chains a person can wear is the need to be liked by everyone. It begins quietly. We change our opinions to avoid criticism. We hide our true convictions to gain acceptance. We measure our worth by applause instead of character. Little by little, we stop living our own life and begin performing for an audience that is never satisfied. Marcus Aurelius warned himself, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." Reflect on those words. How much of your anxiety has been created by worrying about what others think? How many dreams have remained unfinished because you feared judgment? How many opportunities have been lost because you waited for permission that was never yours to seek? The disciplined person understands that respect is earned through integrity, not popularity. You cannot control how others perceive you. You can only control whether you remain faithful to your principles. Some people will misunderstand you. Some will criticize you. Some will leave. Let them. The tree does not stop growing because someone dislikes its shade. Stand firm, not in arrogance, but in conviction, because the moment you stop living for approval is the moment you begin living freely. Habit 12. Turn every obstacle into your teacher. Most people ask, why is this happening to me? A wiser question is, what is this trying to teach me? Every difficulty carries a lesson. Every disappointment reveals something about our character. Every failure exposes a weakness that success would have hidden. Marcus Aurelius wrote one of the most powerful lines ever recorded. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Read those words again. The obstacle is not separate from the path. It is the path. Without resistance, there is no strength. Without setbacks, there is no resilience. Without uncertainty, there is no courage. The disciplined mind stops seeing problems as punishment. Instead, it begins seeing them as training. The difficult coworker teaches patience. Financial hardship teaches simplicity. Failure teaches humility. Loss teaches gratitude. Pain teaches endurance. Nothing is wasted unless we refuse to learn. Life is always teaching. The only question is whether we are paying attention. Habit 13. Live each day as if your character is being observed. Whether anyone notices or not, character is always being built. In every decision, every conversation, every temptation, every private moment. It is easy to appear honorable when others are watching. Real integrity is revealed when no one is there to applaud. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. There comes a moment when philosophy must become action, when reading must become living, when admiration must become imitation. Ask yourself each morning, if someone silently watched my entire day, would they see a life worthy of respect? Would they see discipline? Would they see honesty? Would they see kindness joined with strength? Would they see courage when fear appeared? Do not chase perfection. Chase consistency, because character is built quietly. One choice, one action, one ordinary day at a time. Habit 14. Keep your ego small and your purpose great. The ego constantly demands attention. It wants recognition. It wants to be right. It wants the final word. It wants to prove itself superior. Purpose asks for something entirely different. It asks us to serve, to improve, to contribute, to leave the world slightly better than we found it. The ego competes. Purpose creates. The ego reacts. Purpose remains focused. Seneca wisely observed, "He who is brave is free." True bravery is not defeating others. It is defeating the endless need to protect our pride. There is enormous freedom in admitting, I was wrong. There is strength in saying, I still have much to learn. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. It is thinking less about yourself. The strongest people in history remained lifelong students. They never assumed they had arrived. Every day became another opportunity to grow. Adopt that same attitude. Because the moment we believe we know everything, growth comes to an end. Habit 15. Let every day be a step toward the person you are meant to become. At the end of life, very few people regret working too hard on their character. They regret waiting to change, waiting to forgive, waiting to begin, waiting for confidence, waiting for the perfect moment. But life rarely announces the perfect moment. It simply offers today, this morning, this decision, this opportunity. Epictetus said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Notice that he did not say to dream endlessly. He did not say to speak about your future. He said to become it. one disciplined habit at a time, one courageous decision at a time, one honest action at a time. Transformation is not a single event. It is the quiet accumulation of countless ordinary choices. And one day, after months, perhaps years, you will look back and barely recognize the person you used to be. Not because life became easier, but because you became stronger. That is the power of habit. That is the power of mastering yourself. And that is the beginning of a life that no circumstance can easily shake. The final truth. And now, we arrive at the final truth. Not the truth that the world sells. Not the truth built on wealth, status, or applause, but the truth that has remained unchanged for thousands of years. One day, every title you earned will be forgotten. Every possession you fought to acquire will belong to someone else. Every compliment that once made you proud, every criticism that once kept you awake at night, will disappear into silence. Time erases nearly everything, except one thing: character. The person you become is the only achievement that death cannot take from the life you have lived. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Every thought you entertain, every habit you repeat, every decision you make is quietly painting the person you will become. No one else can do this work for you. No book, no teacher, no philosophy, no amount of motivation. There comes a moment when wisdom must stop being something we admire and become something we practice. That moment is now, not tomorrow, not next Monday, not when life becomes easier. Now, because life is not waiting. Every sunrise is an invitation. Every sunset is a reminder. We have less time than we think, so stop waiting to become disciplined. Stop waiting to become courageous. Stop waiting to become the person you already know you are capable of becoming. Begin today. Speak with honesty. Work with purpose. Walk with humility. Face hardship with courage. Accept what you cannot control. Master what you can. Guard your thoughts. Protect your peace. Honor your word. And let your actions become stronger than your excuses. There will be days when you fail. Days when your discipline weakens. Days when fear returns. Do not mistake a setback for defeat. Rise again. The strongest people are not those who never fall. They are those who refuse to stay on the ground. Remember this whenever doubt enters your mind. Every great life was built one ordinary day at a time. One disciplined morning. One difficult decision. One act of patience. One moment of self-control. Repeat it again and again and again until excellence was no longer something they pursued. It became who they were. So when tomorrow arrives, do not ask whether life will be easy. Ask whether you will be stronger than yesterday. Do not ask whether the world will change. Ask whether you will. Because in the end, the greatest victory is not becoming richer than other people. It is becoming wiser than your former self. Not conquering the world, but conquering your own mind. And if you can do that, if you can govern your thoughts, discipline your habits, remain calm in adversity, and live each day according to virtue rather than impulse, then no failure can truly defeat you. No criticism can truly break you.